Trail runners, does your plantar fasciitis keep coming back over and over despite doing rest and rehab? We're going to go over our 7-point self-assessment to identify risk factors for plantar fasciitis that may explain why this keeps coming back. Before we get into it, grab your phone or a piece of paper and a pencil. We're going to be keeping track of points. Our point system goes as follows. If you score 0 to 2, you're low risk. If you score 3 to 4, you're medium risk. And if you score 5 or more, you're high risk for plantar fasciitis reoccurrence. So let's get right into it. We're going to start with 2 hip tests. Choose a side to start on, but we're going to do both. Grab your foot and put it on top of your opposite knee and let your knee fall. Note what you feel here, especially if you feel any pain. And then we'll go right into our second test where you're going to pull your knee to your opposite shoulder as far as you can. We're going to do this on both sides, comparing side to side. Again, let your knee fall and then pull it to your opposite shoulder. And you get 1 point if you feel any pain in the hip crease, the side of the hip, the back, or your glute, and if you notice a big difference from side to side. So for that first test, if you feel it only with this, but not with this, you get 1 point. If you feel it with both this test and this test, you get 2 points. Test number 3 is going to be a hip capsule test. So we're going to do this on both sides again. Put one knee on the ground, other foot in front of you, and then assume the thinker position. And I want you to find that hip flexor stretch as far as you can without picking up your foot. So starting position, thinker, hip flexor stretch. And again, don't pick up that foot. Test this both sides. And again, if you notice a big difference side to side or pain in hip crease, side of hip, glute, or hamstring, you get a point. Test number 4 is going to be a toe sit with a ball. So if you have something like a lacrosse ball, a tennis ball, a golf ball if you want to challenge, that'll work. Go ahead and grab that. And then we're going to show you without the ball first. I'll show you what the common fault is, and then with the ball so you can't cheat. So from the side, without the ball, the movement's going to look like this. Knees are going to be about shoulder width apart. You're going to tuck all your toe pads under you and then sit back completely on your knees. Ideally, you can get your butt to your heels, and I want you to see if all of your toe pads are on the ground or if something's sticking up. So right now, you can see my little tiny pinky toe here is sticking up. Ideally, we get it all the way on the ground. But right now I'm cheating, so I'll show you what that looks like from the back. Not cheating, again, knees about shoulder width, feet same. Not cheating, you can see that my heels are pretty in line with each other. They're about parallel to each other. But cheating, you go out like this, either on one side or both. In order to not cheat, we're going to use a ball. And I want you to put it right in between your heels and hold it with your feet. So I'm squeezing my feet together to hold that ball in place. And then sit back into that same position. Note how many toe pads are on the ground. If it is less than 10, you get a point. And if you're unable to tolerate this sit for more than 10 seconds, or you feel pain in the foot, in the hip, especially in the back of the hip, you get a point as well. If you're unable to tolerate this because your kneecaps are hurting on the ground, go ahead and put a sweatshirt or something under it. That doesn't count, but any pain in the foot or hip region does count as a point. Test number 5 is an ankle dorsiflexion test. So grab a stick. We're going to go 1 fist width from your big toe. So make your fist and then stick your pinky finger on your big toe. Put your fist on the ground. Wherever your fist ends is where you're going to stick that stick, plant it into the ground, take your fist away. So the goal now, the stick should be in line with your big toe. The goal now, without picking up your heel, I want you to see if you can put your knee over the stick without touching it. So as you can see, I'm going past the stick. I have quite a bit of range here. But you're not allowed to hit the stick or knock it over. So knee needs to stay to the outside, heel needs to stay on the ground. If you find that you can't get to the stick, or you can get to the stick but your heel comes up, you get a point. And if you have any pain in the ankle, foot, or anywhere else, that's a point as well. The next test is called Jack's test, and it's a big toe mobility test. So choose a foot to start with. We're going to go half kneeling. Some people like to do this with their foot up on a chair or a bench. But we're going to just pull your big toe, and only your big toe, with your hand here up and see how far you can yank it up. Ideally, you can get to 45 degrees and then well past it without any issues. So issues meaning that there's pain, especially in the big toe joint there, or that you feel your foot cramping. But you should be able to get at least 45. If you can't get 45, you get a point. And if you can't lift it off the ground, you definitely get a point. Maybe add a little bit more for that one. And if you can get it past 45 without any issues or pain, you're okay, no points for you. The last point of this assessment comes down more to your history rather than another test. So I want you to think back, have you had any injuries in the past, especially ones that recur? Common ones include IT band syndrome on one side or both sides, high hamstring strains, sciatica, low back pain, any other foot problems, including bunions that come and go or bunions that stay. Any of these can be involved with changing your biomechanics and may be involved with why your plantar fasciitis keeps coming back. If you scored on the higher range of this assessment, feel free to call us. Our number's in the description, and read through our free plantar fasciitis book. Link is also in the description.